Hello and welcome to Ain't Gonna Lie, the show that has real questions and real answers produced by real teens. My name's Matt and I'll be your host for today. In the past 6 months, the Valley United Way's Youth Leadership Program has researched the major topics that affect the Valley High School's teens. In this show, Liz and Kristen will show you the startling facts about smoking and how it affects today's teens.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Liz.
And we're here to talk to you about the realities of smoking.
Smoking is the single most preventable cause of death in the world. Cigarettes cause more deaths than cocaine, auto accidents, AIDS, alcohol, heroin, fire, suicide, and homicide combined. Over 400,000 lives are lost each year in the U.S. Worldwide, the toll exacted by tobacco is 2 to 3 million deaths each year. Of the world's 1.2 billion smokers, 500 million of them will die because of the habit. Still, tobacco companies spend $4 billion a year on advertising.
Every day, about 3,000 teenagers become regular smokers. According to the U.S. government, in the United States alone, 3 million adolescents currently smoke. Teenagers make up 90% of new smokers. The fact is, teenagers are more likely to become heavy smokers, and their chances of smoking are nearly 13 times higher if their best friends also smoke. Everyone knows that smoking can cause lung cancer, but did you know that one cigarette contains about 4,000 chemicals? Most of these chemicals are poisonous and include nicotine, arsenic, methane, ammonia, cadmium, carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, butane, and hydrogen cyanide, which is the poison used in gas chambers. These chemicals enter your bloodstream in small increments every time you inhale cigarette smoke. Smoking deteriorates your lungs by destroying alveoli, or the air sacs that transfer oxygen to your blood.
In most cases, teens make the first decision to smoke, not adults. 60% of smokers start by the age of 14, and 90% of them will become firmly addicted by the time they are 19.
And secondhand smoke is just as dangerous as smoking. How can such a dangerous habit be so popular? The answer is that smoking becomes an addiction. The harsh reality is that 1 in every 3 smokers will die from the addiction.
Nearly 1 of every 5 deaths is related to smoking. Cigarette smoking accounts for at least 30% of all cancer deaths. It is a major cause of cancers of the lung, larynx, oral cavity, throat, and esophagus. Lung cancer is the leading cause of death in both men and women, and one of the most difficult cancers to treat. Cancers account for only about half of the deaths related to smoking. Smoking is also a major cause of heart disease, aneurysms, emphysema, bronchitis, stroke, and reproductive problems.
In Janet Brigham's book, Dying to Quit, she explains that 1 pack of cigarettes reduces life expectancy by 28 minutes. A normal smoker, therefore, loses about 25 years. Teenagers should think about their future, or lack thereof, the next time they touch a cigarette.
Now, Megan and Elena will share with you the results from a survey conducted throughout the Valley.
To go along with the issue of smoking, we decided to conduct a survey about how teenagers in the Valley feel about the problem of smoking in schools. The first question we asked was, have you ever been pressured into smoking? Out of 295 teenagers, 25% responded yes, while another 75% responded no.
The second question we asked in regards to smoking was, would you be able to easily obtain cigarettes? Out of 295 students, 63% said yes, while 37% said no.
Hi, I'm Sarb, and I'm here today with Joyce to ask her a few questions about smoking. Hi.
Good morning.
Well, my first question was, what effect does smoking have on one's lifespan?
Good question. Studies indicate that for every cigarette smoked, 11 minutes of your life is lost. For smoking 1 pack per year, at least 2 months of your life is lost. At least 13 to 20 years of a person's life is lost by smoking cigarettes.
Oh, that's quite a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the chances of getting lung cancer or any cancer related to smoking?
Lung cancer victims, 95% of those people who die from lung cancer is smoking related. But that's not the only cancer nor the only illness related to smoking. There are at least 25 illnesses that have been connected to smoking. Heart disease, arterial disease, diseases of the eye, of the stomach, breathing illnesses, cancer, breast cancer in women, a number of
Has it been linked
diseases.
to asthma?
Absolutely asthma because of the breathing.
All right. What are the psychological influences of smoking?
Well, smokers experience an immediate rush of energy. If I can just mention a little bit about the brain. The nicotine in cigarettes rushes to the brain and releases a chemical called acetylcholine. And what that does is give a person a sense of energy. So for a short period of time, a person really feels energized and sharp. After 30 minutes or so, the nicotine has diminished and another cigarette is needed to feel that sense of energy again. That doesn't happen, however. The second dose calms a person down. And that's something that is not truly understood. There's a lot of studies about relating to the brain and what actually happens to the brain and the body with a number of different substances. So nicotine has been discovered to have this this differential, this surge of energy, and then this sense of relief. But what actually happens is that nicotine has become such an important part of a person's physiological makeup that they need to have that nicotine within very short periods of time. So people are always wondering, where are my cigarettes? Do I have enough to last through the day? Is the store open at night? I need to get my cigarettes. So a whole life is focused around having that cigarette.
Well, as a smoker myself once, I can relate to that, but what would you recommend maybe for quitters who want to stop?
Stopping smoking is one of the most difficult things because nicotine is one of the most addictive of all substances. You have to be committed. You have to want to. No one can force a person to give up smoking. And then it's a long process. There are a number of different things people have tried. They've tried patches. They've tried hypnosis. Different things work for different people, but the key ingredient is the commitment because it's a long process and it's a tough road.
I think I can agree on commitment because personally I had just said I need to do more exercise and I can see the drawbacks on myself. I can see that I can't run as fast as other kids and I'm having problems breathing. So I started doing more exercise. I quit smoking on the cold turkey, I think they call it. And I think it's just mental, not much physical, but more mental. Do you agree?
Well, you said two things. Yes, you have to have a mental commitment, but there is definitely a physiological need to have that nicotine in the system. So you have to kind of cleanse your system, and that's what's the difficult thing.
What's the likelihood of young children to start smoking?
Children of parents who smoke are 50% more likely to smoke. There are some indications also that parents who smoke and then of course have children, there may be some cellular damage that they pass on to their children, and we don't know exactly what that means, except it's not a good thing. Children, of course, of smokers have more of the illnesses related to smoking, like asthma and colds and flu.
All right, and another personal question. Do you think when people say the smoking age law should be decreased, or do you agree with that? Like in Europe, for example, smoking is 16 plus, unlike here in USA when it's 18. Do you think that they should change the laws, or?
No, absolutely not. Smoking, as I said earlier, is related to at least 25 diseases that we know about. There are 40 carcinogens in cigarettes smoke that we know about. There are 4,000 chemicals, and we don't really know what those combinations of chemicals will do to the body. So no one should smoke, but definitely we should not reduce the smoking age.
And my final question is, now cigarette packets have a lot of warnings. At least 70% of the cigarette package has like saying that, oh, smoking causes death. Has that had an impact? Has there been any less smokers?
When everyone said smoking was a bad thing, when it was on commercials, when the government said it was not good, when schools really made an effort to educate, smoking definitely was reduced among young people. But now youngsters or young adults from the ages of 18 to 24 have increased their smoking rates. And now that people aren't talking about it as much, people don't realize the danger as they did when it was in the news.
All right, thank you. And I hope you people also learned something about smoking and that it isn't a smart choice to do or to take. Thank you.
Now to James for the wrap-up.
So as you can see, smoking can have disastrous effects on your health and can destroy your reputation and relationships. To make a more informed choice about smoking, you need to know the facts. Did you know more than 5 million children alive today will eventually die of premature causes related to smoking? In fact, 1,200 Americans each day die of smoking. In addition, teens who smoke tend to use other drugs like alcohol and cocaine. Also, addicted smokers tend to use more nicotine over time. The habit usually grows. What may start as 5 to 10 cigarettes a day may turn into a pack or 2 per day. And finally, teens who smoke tend to be more sick than teens who don't smoke. Teens who smoke have smaller lungs and weaker hearts than those who lay off the cigarettes. For more information, here's where you can go.
www.thetruth.com, www.tarwars.org, www.cdc.gov/tobacco, www.matchcoalition.com, www.cancer.org, www.lungusa.org, www.alact.org.
Thank you for watching Ain't Gonna Lie, the show with real questions and real answers, produced by real teens.